Namaste, yogis. Welcome to the Wall Yin class. I have to say, Wall Yin is one of my favorite practices because it really helps you to get deeper in your relaxation. As well, if you have lower back pain, Wall Yin is especially good for you. So let's get started. To get into the wall position, I always like to teach it by starting facing to the side of the wall, and then you can lean in, touching the side of your hips to the base of the floor. And then slowly coming onto your back and then fanning your legs up the wall. So why we enter like this, so that it keeps your hips more or less closer to the wall. Otherwise, you kind of have to do a funky dance coming towards the wall. So let's begin our first pose. And before we get started, let's bring our hands into a cactus shape and soften your entire body. Imagine your fatigue is draining down your legs, out through the fingertips. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale through the mouth. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. And slowly, let's bend into our knees and place the soles of our feet together. Wall butterfly. So wall butterfly, while it doesn't target as much the lower back because it's straight to the floor, it really helps getting into your hips. So as you can see, my soles of the feet are like an open book. They're not touching together. So that really depends on your structure and your flexibility level. But what's most important isn't really about if your feet are touching. It's really about letting go in your hips. If you need some support, you can also, I'm going to scooch over here, bring a block on either side to support your knees and your thighs. So if you don't need that, just allow that to come to the side. And I'm going to start my timer. So in Wall Yin, feel supported by Mother Earth. Bring into the visualization of being one with nature. And never imagine ourselves as part of Earth, part of nature, the cycles of life coming into being and slowly fading away. And it's one continuous cycle, is beginningless and endless. And a gentle reminder, if you're new to my classes or new to Yin, always keep into mind that we are leaning into a physical edge. So instead of pushing our way to create shapes in the body, we allow time to slowly melt our way into the pose. Like, if you ever walk through a forest, you see hundreds and hundreds of trees, and each and every one of these trees look different. And never have we ever stopped to judge if one tree looks better than the other. And just like that, never judge yourself, accepting yourself, your physical body, as well as your mental body, wherever they're at today. And since in Wall Yin, we're more subject to gravity, if the body starts to open up, listen to that inner wisdom and then move deeper into the pose or not, depending where you're at today. And wherever you're at, gently bring your hands outside of your knees and closing your knees like a book. Coming out slowly to avoid shocking our tissue and maintaining a peaceful mindset. Let's hug our knees into the chest and gently massage our lower back. Now the options to rest in the wall yin class is always up to you. So you can place your feet on the wall for a gentle relaxation. But if you are wishing to come off your back, you can also just push your way away from the wall slightly and then coming into fetal position. So in fetal position, I always suggest to roll on either side, whichever side that is comfortable to you. And let's stay in the resting pose for a couple breaths. And when you're ready, let's come on to our knees. So the next pose is for a hip opening. And usually a lot of yin classes would teach like a figure four on the wall, but I want to show you another one that I really like. Now, depending on your flexibility, you might be sitting very close, hips to the wall, and this requires you to have a 90 already. And if you are slightly away, yeah, that's okay as well. So sitting against the wall, let's place our left ankle over on top of your right thigh. And then slowly bending to your right knee. I do engage into my left ankle, more like a 2 out of 10 engagement. So I'm not super engaging the muscles here, but like a toned ankle. And then start walking my right knee in, my right foot towards my chest. I thread my hands through underneath my left knee and then wrapping either under the right knee or over the right shin. Now, as you can see that the target area is into the left outer hip. And I do like this version because it helps me to maintain a long lower back. And then I actively, again, like a 2 out of 10, coming into pressing down towards my left knee. This is very intense for some of us. So if this is too much, just walk this right foot slightly away from the chest, from your body. And then coming into a meditation. So while you're in the posture, I offer you this breath meditation while in the pose. Simply close your eyes and draw your mental focus at the base of your nose. Begin to feel the breath coming in and out of your nostrils. Take a deep breath in through the nose and deep breath out the nose. And that's 1. We'll do up to 5. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. 2. Inhale. And exhale. 3. Inhale. Exhale. 4. Inhale. And exhale. 5. Now you can start all over from 1 to 5 in your own timing. This breath is called Anapanasati from the tradition of Buddhism. Notice if you're holding tension in your belly as you breathe. And then gently sliding your right foot away from the wall and then extending both legs out. Let's do a small dynamic transition, bending into your knees and windshield wiping your legs side by side. We're going to go right away to the other side. And of course, if you need a bit more time to rest, you can pause the video and then join me when you're ready. This time, let's extend your left leg out and then place your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Engaging into your right foot to our 10, and let's bend into our left knee. Now, the body is never symmetrical, so you might notice that on the other side, you can draw your foot in closer or less, but that's okay. We are honoring ourselves wherever we are today. So coming into your wall, figure 4, and notice that if you're starting to getting a bit relaxed into your neck. Now, even though in yin, we encourage you to feel relaxed, here, let's bring the back of the neck long. So by lengthening into your neck, we're actually stimulating the posterior fascial line. And that really helps you to open up into your lower back, as well as that's connected to our hamstrings. Again, threading your hands through your legs and either connecting on the left shin or underneath your left knee. So I welcome you to return back to your breath meditation. And this time, as you're more familiar with it, I'll stay quiet so you can really tune in. Notice the beginning of your inhalation and the beginning of your exhalation. Now, if the body invites you to deepen, you can kind of toe grip your way, spider walk your way into the heel closer to the groin. And in yin, you are your own guru. Always follow the inner wisdom. And just like nature, no one tells nature how to evolve season to season or how to grow into blossom trees and bushes. It follows this natural rhythm. Excellent. Slowly now walk your foot out. And let's come into this last dynamic transition. Bending into your knees. Let's windshield wipe, small little windshield wiping in your kneecaps. And for myself, I feel a lot of sensation in my outer legs, and that's a good thing. But just allow this slow motion to bring fluidity back into our fascial tissue. Let's cross into our legs, and I encourage you to come to your child's pose for a small rest. So I have my bolster here. If you have a pillow, slide a pillow under your chest and for a very supported rest. And gently, let's come out of our child's pose. We're going to prepare for Sphinx. Now come onto your belly, and this Sphinx variation, we're going to come onto your hands and knees. Yeah, let me guide you through step by step. Now, bring the top of your left foot onto the wall, and then you're on your knee. You know? And then this is more like an assisted high push-up. You bring the other knee, back, and so that your right foot is on the wall, and then just coming onto your belly, very supported. So now slide your elbow so that it stacks underneath the shoulders. Now, a lot of us have a tendency to bring the elbows too far back, and you can see that I'm really collapsing into my upper body, and it's quite challenging to hold here. So starting point is where we stack our elbows more or less under the shoulders, and then relaxing into your buttock. You can also windshield wiping into your feet just to encourage that relaxation. And then now here, relaxing into your shoulder girdles. So as you can see that my shoulders are rising towards my ears. And this is a yin version of the Sphinx, where you're allowing a soft and healthy compression in your low back. So for others, you might want to, might need a support in your head. So you bring a block underneath the forehead and then rest. So this is optional to bow forward as well. I encourage to look up. Now, when you're looking up, you're not going to be able to hold for too long. And it's not a natural way, where the air pipes are disturbed here. So you can look up for maybe 10 to 20 seconds to stimulate the fascia along the throat, as well as open our throat chakra. So if you have a hard time expressing your truth, telling others how you feel, this is a really good variation for you. Now, those who are seeking a bit more sensation in this position, I welcome you to follow me into seal. So in seal, we're gonna plant our hands onto the floor and then lift your elbows up, extending into our elbow joint. So the more you walk your hands towards your hips, the more intense this position is. So again, you can start to let the shoulders come towards the ears, but you'll notice that as you come into this version where the shoulder girdles are relaxed, there's more sensation in your lower back. So if your lower back is not ready to handle that much healthy stress, then you press down into your hands slightly more to engage the upper body. Yeah, so this is still within the yin paradigm. I say this like a gas pedal. Yeah, the more you let your shoulders into your ears, is you're really pressing into your gas pedal. And then the more you kind of engaging into your upper body, it's less speed into the pose. Okay, so I hope that helps. So again, the head position, you can look forward for more meditative sensations. or look up, a bit more energizing, devotional sensation. When you're ready, let's slowly lying onto our belly. So coming up gently, allowing our vertebrae to come into a rebound position. So you can crawl your way forward and then sweep your legs side by side. And then I offer you to lie down with one leg bent and then one leg extended. And then gently, let's make our way back towards the wall. So the yin class for wall yin, here is my favorite posture, is Dragonfly. So coming into how I explained earlier is keeping your hips close to the wall, lean back onto your hands, lie down to your back, and let's fan our legs up towards the wall. So in the wall Dragonfly, let's open our legs and start walking our heels towards the floor. Now you see you might be here to begin, and that's perfect. And you'll notice that quickly with gravity, you start feeling opening in the body. So I'm going to go into my full expression. So I want to share a little secret with you is I actually did this every single day for the whole summer, about an hour a day when I was in ballet school. And obviously I don't recommend doing an hour in this pose, but it certainly helped me to be very flexible growing up. So the wall Dragonfly was definitely my ultimate favorite pose growing up. So coming into your wall Dragonfly, feeling the sensations in the inner growing, and for some of us maybe closer to the knees. In Chinese meridians, we really target to the liver channel, and the liver channel is actually the wood element. So if you think about in nature, there is this ascending, almost angry energy to birth. So think about the dead of winter where there's no growth from the soil. And when spring comes, when this wood element comes into its force, you see like a sprout of a little plant coming through the cement floor. And that is the amount of power you need for transformation. So think of moments where you have angry determination, and this is something my teacher Sri Dhamma Mitra says, to change, we need to have this angry determination that resonates with our liver channel. Notice if the body is holding unnecessary tension. Simply let them go. So you're more than welcome to stay longer at your home practice or come with me. We're going to start to walk our way back up. The best way to come out of this posture is actually by using your hands to bend into your knees. And then draw the knees towards your chest. And goes really slow here. Again, bending into your knees and sway your low back side by side. You can stay here for relaxation, or you can bring your legs up the wall. Now I know it's tempted to rest in your butterfly, but let me tell you, we have just stressed our inner thighs. It's not the best option to do wall butterfly. And of course, if that's what you want, that's up to you. But I really recommend coming to a more neutral position where your inner thighs can get a good rest. So coming into your resting position, notice sensations in the body. Going to our next pose, bending into your knees, and then use your feet as an anchor and wiggle your way just slightly away from the wall. Yeah. Now, an option here, we're going to go for a spinal twist. Everybody will start with shifting your hips to the right first. Now, the option is you either coming right away into both knees towards the left side of your mat, and then you can come into a cactus arm shape or just lengthen the arms out to the side. If you're seeking for a deeper sensation, we're going to come back up. My hips already shifted to the right to create space for my spine. I'm going to wrap my right leg over my left, like I'm sitting in a chair. If you have the flexibility, you can come for the hook, but that is optional. And then we're going to gently rest both knees towards the left side. If you have a bolster and you need it, slide it under your knees for support. And then we're coming into a spinal twist. So twisting really helps to neutralize our spine, releasing toxins out of the body. Keeping your face towards the sky. So in other yoga traditions, the cue is to look to the opposite direction from your knee. But since we're in yin, we'll be here for a while, there are a lot of arteries along the side of the neck. It is safe this way to stay erect with the nose pointing to the sky to make sure that our blood is flowing nicely. If you have a cactus arm position and you feel tingling sensations in your fingers, extend your elbows or drop your arms below the shoulders. If you notice your mind is floating away somewhere far, just joyfully come back. Either tune into your breath or focus between the eyebrows. Now let's bring our legs back into neutral. Take a moment here, extending the legs up the wall if you wish, or draw the knees to your chest. And let's take a small rest between sides. Now bending into your knees. Let's shift your hips to the left, pushing into the wall, and lift your pelvis up. And then shift your hips to the left-hand side. You can right away bring both knees towards the right side of your mat or cross your left leg over. Let's come on to the second side. If you need a bolster to support your outer leg, so just put the bolster under your knees. And for those who notice that your opposite shoulder is lifting off the ground, now as long as it doesn't create excessive and unnecessary tension in your shoulder, it's actually quite fine to let that shoulder come off. But if it's really painful, yeah, as in is causing too much tensile resistance in your arm and shoulder, you can put your arm on a block, something to support the shoulder. And carefully, you can use your hands to support your knees and then make your way back on your back and extending into your legs. Now we are going to come into our final Shavasana. So you can either wiggle your way out into a long lying down position, or I would like to offer you to do your final rest with a block under the sacrum. So I press down into the wall and then lift my pelvis up. I place a block under my sacrum, and then I let my legs extending up to the wall. And here I open my arms to the side and allow the heaviness in my legs or whatever that may have arise in the class just drain out of my body. And slowly begin to move your fingers and toes. Bending your knees slightly and remove the block away. And draw the knees to your chest, massaging your low back. And roll onto either side that's comfortable to you. Come into a fetal position. And then without disturbing your mind, gently make your way into a comfortable seated position, coming up. Thank you so much for practicing with me. This wall yin class is especially good for deep relaxation as well as to help ease off some stress from your lower back. So happy practicing. Namaste.